Hello there. In this video I'm going to talk about the cost of living in Alpine, Utah. Alpine's a city of about 10,500 people, approximately 30 minutes to the north of Provo. It's going to be a fun video, so stick around if you want to know what the cost of living is in Alpine, because I'm getting after it right now. Hi there, first time to my channel. You want to know everything about living in Provo, Utah, you know, the good, the bad, what it's like to live, sleep, eat, and play in Provo, Utah, then go ahead and like this video. Click on that subscription tab and click on the notification bell so that you can stay current on everything about living in Provo, Utah. Now, specifically today, we'll be talking about the cost of living in Alpine. My name is Scott Walters, and I get calls from people like you every day looking to make the move to the Provo, Utah area. I absolutely love it. So if you're needing to make a move in 9 days or 90 days, reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to help you make a smooth move to Provo, Utah, and specifically today in Alpine. So let's get after it. Let's talk about the cost of living in Alpine. So the first thing I think of when I'm thinking cost of living for Alpine, I'm thinking of housing. What's it going to cost you to live in Alpine, and can you afford to live there? Be prepared if you're wanting to move to Alpine. You're going to have to shell out some bucks. It's probably the most expensive city in all of Utah County, followed by Mapleton and then Salem. So when I was looking at some statistics on what's available currently in Alpine, there were 28 listings. The highest listing was $4.9 million on a home that's in that price range. Your payment, and keep in mind, pretty much most of the homes in Alpine are also, not only are they large, but they're usually on very large lots, an acre plus. So this one listing that's $4.9 million, monthly payment on that would be approximately $28,000 a month. Your tax bill on that thing would be about $9,700 a year. And that's a large house. It's 12,800 square feet. So that's kind of what you're going to be looking at when you're looking at kind of that upper price range in Alpine. There were 4 listings in the $3 million range. Monthly payments roughly in the $22,000 a month range with a yearly tax bill of about $8,500. The biggest range of homes in Alpine there were 9 of them in that $2 million range, going anywhere from like 2.3 all the way up to 2.9 million. That gives you an approximate payment in the $15,000 a month range, along with a $4,700 a year or so tax bill. The next biggest range of prices for homes in Alpine's in the 1.3 million to 1.8 million range. There were 6 of those. Payments right around $8,600 a month, with a yearly tax bill around $3,800 to $4,000 for the year. The next price range you're looking at, there were 3 in that $800 to $9,000 price range. Payments right around $5,000 a month, with a yearly tax bill around $3,000 for the year. And then they had 3 homes that were in that $450 to $500 range, tax bill on those about $2,000 a year, with a payment somewhere around $3,000. Those 3 homes were definitely they were much older and much smaller homes than all the other properties I talked about. There are no condos and no townhomes for sale in Alpine. You just generally don't see those in that area. It's pretty much a bedroom community with very large homes on very large lots. So yeah, you'll be paying quite a bit to live in Alpine, but the flip side is it's beautiful. It's back up again the cove against these high, beautiful Alpine looking mountains. And again, you have a lot of space. Still feels very rural, even though you're only like, I'd say 35 minutes to downtown Salt Lake. You're about 30 minutes to downtown Provo. So you're still close to all that, yet when you get there, there's a lot of space between the houses. It still feels like you're out in the country, and it's really nice that way. And then it also has some fantastic views overlooking the valley. You can see pretty much all of Utah Lake from a lot of the spots there in Alpine. So that is definitely bonus. Now, when it comes to renting, if you find a home in that area, those homes are going to rent they're going to be pretty close to those house payments that you're looking at. Any of those large homes, you're going to be paying $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month to rent those. And then you really don't have an option for townhomes or condos to rent there. Not too far away, though, you can find homes to rent in the Lehigh area. You can find townhomes that are 3 bedrooms, 2 baths that are renting right around $2,000 a month. And then the condos that are 3 beds, 2 bath, they're $1,800 to $2,000 a month, depending on how nice they are. So those are not too far away from Alpine. If you want to be close to Alpine, you can still find some rentals that are fairly close there. as well as finding some single family homes, you know, the 6-bedroom, 3-bath homes that are 3,000 or 4,000 square feet. There's some homes there in American Fork and Highland and Cedar Hills that are fairly close to Alpine. You'll be renting those for about $3,500 to $3,800 a month. So that'll just give you an idea on the cost of living as far as it comes to the cost of living for housing in the Alpine area. Let me know what you think of these prices in this area. Are they affordable? Can you afford to live here? Make a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And if you're finding these videos helpful about living in the Provo, Utah area, in all the Utah Valley area, then I want you to like my channel, subscribe to it, and click on the notification bell so you can stay current every time I drop another video about living in Provo. All right, so number 2 up on my list are utility costs. What's it going to cost you to heat your home? What's it going to cost you to cool your home? What's it going to cost for water, garbage, sewer, all that kind of stuff? Pretty much every Wasatch Front city is pretty similar in the costs on that, and we'll find a link for Alpine City's utility page and throw it on there so that you can look at those costs. Generally, you pay a base rate for electricity, and once you go over the base rate, then they charge you a little higher tier for each usage level that you go up. It's kind of the same thing with the water. And then you also have the electricity and gas bills. I'm going to say generally in the Alpine area, you probably better budget somewhere between $700 to $1,200 a month for your monthly utility bills, because most of the homes that are for sale right now, they're pretty much all over $1 million. The utility bills are going to be pretty big. Just to give you some context, I know of a home that's about 6,500 square feet, and the monthly utility bill is, you know, $700 a month. A lot of these homes in Alpine are twice that size. You know, they're 9, 10, 11, 12,000 square feet. So plan on paying probably $1,000 plus a month for utility bills. Now, for those other homes that are a little bit smaller there in Alpine, the ones that are in the 1 million range, then your tax bill's probably going to be in that $700 to $900 a month range. So plan on budgeting that. Of course, there's things you can do to keep your bill down. You can always get solar panels to keep the cost of electricity down a little bit, and maybe not run your AC so high. But yeah, in Alpine, it's going to cost you a little bit more for utility costs, just because typically those homes are so large. You've got a lot of area to heat and a lot of area to cool. And that is your cost of living as far as what it's going to cost you for utilities. Next up on my list is transportation. And generally with most of the cities, I'm talking about public transportation. There's not a lot of options that way in Alpine. You usually have at least like one bus route from the UTA that will run through that North County area. You're a little bit of ways if you want to commute into downtown Salt Lake or down into downtown Provo. You would need to drive to Lehigh. That's your closest TRAX train station where you can catch the train going either south or north. If you want a monthly bus pass, that's about $85 a month for that. I think it's about $180 or so for the, it's about $170 if you want to have the all-inclusive pass, which lets you ride the bus and the TRAX. So that kind of gives you an idea what it costs for transportation in the area. And then, of course, this is a completely subjective topic, because it really depends. Most people honestly are just driving. Most people aren't taking the public transportation in that area. In Alpine, most people have cars, so it's really just going to depend upon which kind of car that you like to drive. If you're driving the big SUVs, then it's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you $100 plus to fill up your tank to drive that thing around. Or if you're driving a hybrid, then you can fill that thing up for like $35 a tank and get around for a lot less. Or of course, you can have an electric vehicle, and the cost of that's a little bit more than a gas vehicle, but then the flip side, of course, is you've got less in your fuel bill. So anyway, that just gives you just a rough idea of what it would cost you for transportation in the Alpine area. Next on the list for cost of living is childcare. What's it going to cost you to have your child watched while you're off to work? So if you need your child in the daycare all day, I'm seeing generally about $170 a week per child for children that are 2 and under. For children a little older, it's about $150 a week, and that'll of course have your kid watched for the whole week. And again, that's per child. And certainly a lot of these daycare places have some other options. Maybe you only need to have your child watched 3 days a week, and then they can have some different pricing tiers for that. Now, if you're just looking for a preschool type situation, there's a lot of preschools around. They're somewhere between $90 to $120, and that's a monthly payment, and get your kid generally 3 days a week and helps to get them prepared for for starting kindergarten. So that's just what you're looking at when it comes to the child care costs and daycare costs in that area. All right, so next on the list, we got to talk about groceries. What's it going to cost you to feed your family? I like to tell people to budget anywhere between $100 and $150 per person per month. I've got a family of 8. That's about what we're budgeting to feed our families. Again, it's about $100 to $150 per person per month. And, we're not eating super extravagantly, but, we enjoy healthy meals. I like to buy steaks a few times a month. I like to, of course, buy a lot of chicken. And, of course, one of the things I like to do is go to Costco and get the $5 chickens. Feeds the whole family. That's a pretty cheap option. Another thing we like to do to help keep that bill down is we like to grow gardens. So I grow a garden every year, and it's fantastic in the summer. I don't have to go to the grocery store for all the produce. For some items I do, but like right now I've got tomatoes just coming out everywhere. So we got plenty of tomatoes to feed the family, a lot of summer squash, a lot of winter squash. And so that's just one way we keep the bill down. But again, this whole topic of groceries, what's going to cost you. It is a little bit subjective because it depends upon what your tastes are. And again, how much, what you like to eat. Of course, if you're eating lobsters and steak every night, then it's going to cost you a whole lot more than $100 to $150 per person. But if you're making spaghettis and taco soups and chilies and things of that nature, then you can keep your bill down in a rather affordable range. But this is going to be pretty true for any city along the Wasatch Front. That's just kind of a rough estimate on what it'll take you to feed your family, $100 to $150 per person. Okay, so one of the other items that a lot of people, or other expense that people have when they're considering cost of living is what's it going to cost me for my cell phone bill? I mean, pretty much everybody I know has a cell phone bill, so what's it going to cost you? And so this fee is pretty much the same for any city along the Wasatch Front. I was checking out prices on the internet, and keep in mind that these can change because all these companies, they run promotions all the time, and so these prices could be more or less depending on the promotions. But I was looking at a site that was kind of comparing the 3 big companies, your T-Mobile, your AT&T, and your Verizon. Currently, I've actually been with all 3 of these services. I've had great service throughout Utah County with all these phone providers. Currently, I'm with T-Mobile. I've been with them for about 2 years. Before that, I was with AT&T for more than 20 years. I took a break for 1 year and tried Verizon just because I was having some issues with the phone for a year, but those things got ironed out, and I had plenty fine service with AT&T. But again, I'm now with T-Mobile. It's just a little bit cheaper. It's around $65 a month for 1 line, and then about $100 for 2 lines, and generally charge about $20 for every line thereafter. AT&T starts at about $75, goes up to $140 for 2, and then about $20 again a month for each phone thereafter. Verizon is the most expensive at $80 a month, $140 for 2, and then $20 for the rest. Although recently I've seen some promotions for Verizon that are much cheaper than that, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out. And again, you also have the reseller companies. There's plenty of those, like your Mint Wireless. I think that's what they're called. The Cricket Wirelesses. Just those companies. They're the companies that buy big blocks of time from the big 3 and then resell it at a discount. So you've got those options. There's plenty of options for that around there. But that just give you an idea what you're looking at for cell phone costs in this area. Okay, so finally, one of the things we got to talk about when it comes to cost of living is entertainment. You got to have some fun, right? So what's it going to cost you to have fun living in this area? One of the great things about living all over Utah Valley is the access to canyons. You've got American Fork Canyon in the north. You've got Provo Canyon in the middle. You've got Spanish Fork Canyon on the south. You also have Santaquin Canyon even further south of that. You have the Nebo Loop Road on the south end of the valley. So you've got all these beautiful canyons and great access to recreation that really is just the cost of you driving to get there. So whatever it costs you to drive to get there, I mean, these are almost basically free activities. American Fork Canyon has beautiful place. You've got Tibble Fork Reservoir up there. You can go and spend a beautiful evening, afternoon, or morning at the lake. They have Timpanogos Cave National Monument early on in the mouth of the canyon, and that's a beautiful area. You do need to make reservations to go there. It's a pretty steep hike. It's paved. It's switchbacks all the way up the mountain. It's very steep in American Fork Canyon, but that's a really cool activity to do. And of course, American Fork Canyon is basically your access to the Alpine Loop Road, so that's a great place to go drive and enjoy just the scenery of the mountains and the trees and the quaking aspens and the pines. especially in the fall time. Absolutely beautiful drive in the fall time. From American Fork Canyon or from Provo Canyon, you can access Sundance, where they, of course, have some world-class skiing as well as some fantastic summer activities there. You can actually mountain bike. They have mountain bike trails. You can hop on their, you can pay, buy the ski lift, take your bike, they hang it on the ski lift, ride up with you, and then you can ride the trails down. They also have some really awesome outdoor summer theater programs. My wife and I've been to a couple plays there, Mamma Mia and Footloose. We absolutely enjoyed it. They have a theater up in the mountains off the ski run. It's an absolutely beautiful setting, so that's close. Of course, Park City is also not very far away from any of the Utah County cities, where you have all the activities up there and the shopping and the Main Street. And of course, you're really close to Salt Lake, with all the activities in Salt Lake, all the different dining options you may have there, shopping options. You've got big and little Cottonwood Canyons and all the ski resorts there. Super close to that. You're also really close to Utah Lake. Literally just minutes to Utah Lake. So if you enjoy getting out on the lake to go fishing, to go wakeboarding, water skiing, other activities like that on the water, well, you've got Utah Lake right there in your backyard. And of course, you have some little bit higher reservoirs up the canyons a lot of people like to recreate at. You have Jordanelle, you have Deer Creek, you have Strawberry, you have Schofield. All those are like within an hour, just a little over an hour from any of the Utah County cities. So that's some fun recreation that's close by. And then Utah County as a whole is getting a lot of trails throughout the county. You have the Murdoch Trail that connects into trails that go all the way up to Ogden. You've got the Provo River Trail that starts up in the mouth of Provo Canyon, goes all the way out to Utah Lake. You've got the Spanish Fork River Trail that goes along the Spanish Fork River. Mapleton's got some trails, and then they connect into the trails that go up Hobble Creek and Springville Canyon. Or Hobble Creek Canyon, that's another canyon I failed to mention. That's another beautiful canyon. And of course, there's beautiful golf courses all throughout Utah County. Golfing is extremely affordable in Utah. You're going to be paying around $25 for 9 holes and a cart at most of the public courses, so it's very affordable. That's a fun, inexpensive entertainment activity. Of course, Utah Valley also has the two universities. You've got Utah Valley University, you got Brigham Young University, and both of those places have activities that you can attend. They have sporting events that you can go to. Their theater programs usually put on plays and things of that nature that you can go enjoy. Of course, BYU is a big place that people enjoy going and watching their football program play in the fall, and their basketball team playing in the fall. And so, I mean, there's tons of activities like that. But I think Utah Valley, really, the jewel of it all is all the outdoor activities that you can do. They're free. There's just a plethora of community parks throughout every city. Parks that have splash pads, parks that have pickleball courts, basketball courts, tennis courts, soccer fields, baseball fields. There's just a ton of that all throughout Utah Valley. So when it comes to entertainment, there's just a ton of options that are very inexpensive and a lot of fun for the family. Again, my name's Scott Walters. Thanks so much for watching this video on the cost of living of Alpine, Utah. Appreciate you watching these videos. If you're finding these videos helpful about what it's like living in Provo, Utah and all the surrounding areas, including Alpine, then I want you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, make sure you click on the notification bell so that you can stay current every time I drop another video about what it's like living in Provo, Utah and all the surrounding areas. People are contacting me daily about what it's like to live here, and I love it when people reach out to me. So reach out to me, send me a text, shoot me an email. We can set up a Zoom meeting, whatever you need. I can give you more information to help you with a smooth move to the Provo, Utah Valley area. So with that, I will catch you on the next video.